Hi you guys. Well, I got a little update for all of you who actually watch my videos, if anyone do. So, for the ones who have followed my channel and watched some of my video, you would know that I recently quit my old job and got a new one at this wonderful farm vacation place. And this is a dream job. I loved it. And notice the fact that I say loved. Yeah, unless something amazing is gonna happen. I am officially now, God knows for how long, unemployed. Between jobs. I guess one time had to be the first one. So it turns out that getting a job by your best friend is not always a good idea. Because the issue you have if you get a job with a friend like that is if anything bad happens, the friend does not necessarily know how to be professional, how to be your boss, how to see the person working compared to the friend, the person you know privately. And that for me meant that I had to quit my job. Yeah, you heard me right. I quit my job yesterday, literally yesterday, because my niece were with me at work one day, which, by the way, turned out to be the worst idea ever. I have brought my daughter with me to work and no one told me I wasn't allowed. I always did it. I did it at the last workplace, I did it at this workplace, and it seems that no one at all had issues with it. At least no one told me it was an issue, and no one told me it wasn't allowed, so I didn't know. And at that point I also guess it was allowed, because no one cared at the point, right? Until the dog, one of the dogs at the farm, decided to bite my niece in the face, literally snap her in the face. Lucky enough, she didn't sustain any injuries. She got a few marks above the eye, beneath the eye, and on the cheek, because it did like this. It bit her down like that. And one thing led to another. I guess if you are just a little bit smart right now, you already figured out what happened. It turned out that my friend, not my boss, my friend got pissed off. Totally 100% pissed off, because apparently she meant it was the child having issues and not the dog. Even though she only petted, she didn't do anything you wouldn't expect of a child. Her and my daughter was running around playing, having fun, being a little loud. Nothing compared to other kids. This was ordinary play. And they saw the dogs, they think, hey, let's pet them. And they did so. They have 3 dogs. And they were petting them one by one, talking about how my daughter hate when they kiss, with tongues and like that. She thinks it's disgusting. And my niece didn't care if the dog kissed her. She thought it was cute. And when she said that word, she leaned in. And no, you're not supposed to lean in over a dog. But try explain that to a 7-year-old kid who has a dog at home, who knows a lot of dogs, who is nice and hadn't have necessarily that conversation with mom or dad yet, because it hadn't been necessary yet. So she leans forward I've seen this on the CCTV, so I know how she did it. I know how it happened. And she put her hands around the dog's head like this, just to pet it. And when she rubbed the hand down by one of the ears, the dog turned towards her hand. Apparently it had a pain in the ear. Apparently, I'm sorry. Apparently there was something wrong with the ear. We didn't know that at that point. No one actually knew at that point. And that's when the dog just snapped, literally. It turned around with a loud growl and just bit her in the face. And I was shocked. Of course I was. I went to my boss and told her what happened. And of course, at first she was all accepting and, oh my God, how did that happen? You've never done something like that before. And we all knew that the dog isn't that kind of a dog. I will say I have heard and seen him snap before, but nothing like this. You know, it was just a little tap to her hand twice. And for me, at that point, I thought it was okay, because he's allowed to say stop if they don't listen. If kids don't listen when he growls and tell them to go away, he's allowed to just, make the last approach to make kids stop, because kids is kids and they can be a lot, and they can be a mouthful, literally. So I talked with her and all seemed to be fine. They were going to the vet, and that's when they found out he had something with his ear, that there was something wrong with it, and he got some ear drop. And I came back to work. All of this happened Tuesday, and I came to work Thursday, yesterday. And hell broke loose. Hell broke loose. I mean, I tried to be the one working, not the friend, but the one working. And I consulted with another colleague to figure out. I thought literally he was the one I was supposed to talk to, because he is the caretaker of the animals. He's the one taking care of all the animals, and he was also the one taking care of the dog the morning I came in. He was fixing the ear when I came, so I talked with him and asked him, what are we going to do? And I said to him, I'm super frustrated because I don't know how to handle this one. I don't want to ruin a friendship, but I also have to do my job. And in this case, the fact is the dog bit a kid, and we have to face the fact that when mom comes, she will be upset if the dog is still out there with other kids, just walking around like nothing happened. And we were just consulting each other, talking about what to do back and forth, and came up with the idea of making a big sign that says don't pet the dogs, or something like that. Something to warn the kids that there might be a possibility that the dog will snap if he gets too cornered, because I think that will happen. I think he felt cornered that day because he was laying up against the wall and she was sitting in front of him, and my boss walks in while I'm talking, and apparently I don't even remember how she got into the conversation, how it started. But I mean, when I'm standing there talking, all of a sudden she's a part of this conversation. The only difference is she's in the middle of another one. She's mad. mad because she thinks it's over the top, overdone. You know, like she thinks it's all blown up because nothing really happened, and nothing didn't really happen with my niece. It's not the point. The point is the dog bit the child. And that's when she started telling me how awful this child is, and that it's the child's fault, and if she was too loud, and he probably didn't like her because she don't like her, and I should never bring the kids there again, and I was so unprofessional to bring my kids to work, and you don't do that. And I tried to just, remain calm and just telling her, well, I didn't know that. No one told me, and I wish someone would have told me then, because of course I wouldn't have done something like that. I would never have brought kids to work if I know it was an issue. But this is a farm vacation, and there's a lot of things for them to do, and they were actually just taking care of themselves. There was one point when they came asking for me, but that's it. Other than that, they were just playing at her playground, at her farm, looking at the animal, being a part of that, But yeah, I don't want to go into further details because I don't want to be more in a pickle than I am at the moment. But let's just say it turned ugly. And I walked out there with the feeling of being totally broke down. And due to my MS, my body was reacting to this. I hardly couldn't walk at the end of the day, and I was in pain places I don't normally feel pain, places I have felt pain before because of my attacks, but not necessarily feel it anymore. And yeah, that's where I am at the moment. Unless something extraordinary happens, I'm out of a job. And probably also out of a friend, because she was really upset with me and making all of this my fault. And making it my niece's fault. And at the end, she actually just gave the impression she didn't even want me to come back to work. I still have 14 days left before my contract ran up, but she actually gave me the feeling that I shouldn't come back, I should just stay away. At one point, she actually did tell me to stay away when she was most upset, but again, I just hope she was upset with all this. Yeah, I guess that's sort of it for now. Just a little update on where we at and why there haven't been a lot of videos this week, because let's face it, I have had a lot of other things to think of. And yeah, I've never felt so incompetent in my entire life, and it took me a while to realize I'm not incompetent. It was actually just the word she was using, It was hard, really, really hard, and I've never seen this side of my best friend before. I haven't, and I hope I'll never see it again. But let's see if I even have a friend after this one. Because let's be honest, the whole thing with the dog is not over before one of them get what they want, her or the mom to my niece. Or my brother, for that matter. Yeah. If I can just gather myself here. Just wanted to show you a little something of what I'm working on here. Because I have a few videos coming up. More positive than this one. I am making wire wrap jewelries, and I am actually really, really in love with these designs. And it's not like I'm the first one doing them, but I do have a few videos on how to and what I'm using. And in my case, I don't have a lot of jewelry tools or anything. It's just ordinary tools that many people can find in the garage that I'm using. Yeah, that's a bracelet, and that's not. I also make earrings. If I can grab this one, like this. I was wearing this one yesterday and I love it. And all of this is made by hand. Even the ear stick is made by hand. So yeah, that's one of the things I have coming up for you. So it's not all bad. There are good things coming. I also have a lot of new material coming home to make it with, and I'm going to make some sun catchers that I'm going to make you a part of. Yeah. Oh, and other wire wrapping tutorials as well. So not all bad. And yeah, I'm just sitting here in my living room with a little bit of pain on my face and my arm because we are doing the bathroom today. I still got my daughter's room, still got the terrace project, and there's a lot of things in the garden, so it's not like I'm out of things to do. Now I just need my body to come back to me because it's drained, and there are so long recovery when I get out here. My body doesn't work properly when I end out here because the stress is going right into the nerve, right into the spine, and hitting all the wrong spot in my body. So yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, time is going to go really, really slow for me right now before I'm ready to actually do anything again. But when that's all said, I am looking forward to showing you some of my more positive videos, and hopefully a miracle is still to come. I practice witchcraft, which I have done as long as I can remember, honestly. And I still have a few things in my sleeve that I can try pull off. But it is important to say that my witchcraft is all about positive energy, and it's only working to the point where the positivity can affect the heart of another person. But if that heart is closed, it won't work. That's the way it is, because humans are made of free will, and you can try to bend and manipulate the universe around them, but if they're closed or don't want to listen, the universe can do whatever it wants. Yeah. So remember, look for the signs, because there are signs out there. Signs for you and signs for everybody else. Nothing happened without the reason. Sometimes it's just gonna take a long time before we know what that reason was. And yeah, time will tell, I guess, in this case. I hope you, if you've seen this video so long, I'm sorry for the long talk and the long self-pity part. I just needed to tell you where I'm at. And thank you for being on my channel here. Thank you for taking the time to be a part of this and to listen, because that's what you did if you've seen this far into the video. And if you're not a subscriber and you want to see more of just ordinary life, then hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell if you want to know when I post something. And yeah, give me a thumbs up if you think I deserve it. Bye.